I guess you can't see my breath. Well, it's 15 degrees out. I'm on a walk with the dogs. Actually, the dogs seem more like they're on a walk by themselves. But in any event, this is kind of a gear yell. I was given something to try out. It's called a narrative. It's called a narrative. I guess that's it. This is the narrative 1 that I'm testing, and what it does is it's kind of like a life logger. So it's a camera that you walk around with, and it takes pictures every 30 seconds. There's no audio or anything like that on there, and you have to use their software. It won't download like a regular camera. The advantage of using their software is supposedly it culls all the bad images, like if you got a picture of, like, say, just a tree up close and lots of other things that aren't going to work out for you, it'll cull those out and leave you with just the good images. I guess it runs for 3 days, and then after that the battery croaks, or it runs out of space, or all of the above. I didn't read too deeply into it. I just wanted to see how quickly I could get into it and have it function. One of the big problems I discovered right off the bat was that it doesn't like software registration. Hey man, thanks for the stick. So what I did was a couple of times I created an account, made my password, the whole 9 yards, logged out and tried to log back into it again. No bueno. So I ended up going through 2 of my email addresses that way. Finally had to make up a 3rd email address, dogthebountyhunter.com, and that was how I managed to get the software to work. Because the first couple emails, they sent me verifications, said that everything was okay, and then I go to log back in, and I go to put my password in, and nothing. Which is kind of a bummer, because you can't use any of your other software, like any of your photo capture software, to get the images out of this thing. So if you can't use their software, you can't use this device. And just to show you what the device is, there's the device right there. A little tiny, you see how small that thing is. It's wicked small. You can also manually prompt it to take an image by double tapping. And those lights, if you could see those on there, those also give you the battery status, so it lets you know how far you are. I started out with 4 bars, now I'm down to 3. Don't know what that means, but for a device that small, I wouldn't think that it's going to take much juice. Although, being as cold as it is right now, I'm not sure how far that it would take me on a hike or anything like that. Careful. I'm telling him to be careful, and yet I'm throwing sticks for him on ice. Bad doggy parent. Anyways, I'll do a follow-up video on this and let you know how the thing goes. Like I said, I wasn't super pleased with the software so far, and I wasn't super pleased with the fact that the only way you could get into it was using their software. And I'm not super sure how useful for me an image logger would be, as I'm kind of more into video than stills, unless I'm taking stills for a purpose. So I guess, you know, during a long hike or something like that, it'd be kind of interesting. So I may end up trying that this weekend for that. But we'll see how that goes. Bye.